Hey guys, so we are going to do a really quick banana bread recipe this evening, and I wanted to do this because as I came back from the grocery store I realized I had a few overly ripe bananas that just didn't get consumed this past week. So we are going to go ahead and not waste them and turn them into banana bread. I'm actually going to do these in muffin tins. You can certainly do this in a bread pan, but for me, I like to keep them in smaller portions because then I don't eat it all at, at one time. But also, it's really easy to freeze a few muffins in a bag, and then you can pop them out whenever you're looking for a muffin. So what I have is 3 ripe bananas. I have flour, sugar, an egg, salt, pecans, which those are optional, and then our weird secret ingredient that I promise you, it sounds so strange, but it is going to be the star of the show is mayonnaise. And the reason why I say the star of the show is because it keeps this bread super, super moist and you don't taste mayonnaise at all. The first time I ever found a recipe that called for mayonnaise in a bread, I was so weirded out by it, but I gave it a shot, a recommendation of a friend, and I was actually really surprised as to how moist and delicious the bread was. So let's get started. All right, so first things first, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And if you are going and using muffin tins, the easiest thing is to line them with some of the muffin tin liners. What I've already done so far is I have peeled the 3 bananas and I'm just mashing the bananas with a fork. You kind of want to just break it apart and get any clumps, any large clumps, kind of smushed down and kind of into a bit of a paste. You want to make sure you have 2 separate bowls because we're going to go ahead and combine our wet ingredients with our bananas and then our dry ingredients in the larger bowl and then get everything together before we go ahead and put them in the muffin tins. Okay, so that looks pretty good and mashed up. So we're going to go ahead and crack our egg. Ooh. Okay. And add in our mayonnaise. Just give that a quick stir. Kind of break up the egg and kind of get it mixed in with the bananas. And now I can totally understand if you are super weirded out right now because this does not look all that appetizing. Egg, banana, and mayonnaise together. Yum. Okay, so our dry ingredients then, we're going to go ahead and add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of white sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Another spatula here. And we'll just kind of give this a quick stir and mix around all of our dry ingredients. If you want to add any sort of nut, pecans are always a great option for banana bread. Go ahead and add it to your dry ingredients. But again, completely optional. I really like the taste of pecans. Okay. So now we can go ahead and add in our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. Kind of slowly fold this together until everything is incorporated. One of the really nice things I like about quick breads like banana bread is it really doesn't take a ton of ingredients and it really is no time at all to get it together. You don't even have to get out your KitchenAid or blender to mix it up. Just use your arm's strength and it doesn't have to be smooth, it just has to be incorporated. So I'm just kind of scraping from the sides and the bottom and and incorporating the flour mixture with our banana mixture. Okay, so let's get our muffin tin here. And this is always the fun part. Can I get this in these muffin tins without getting it everywhere? Sometimes it's easier to use another spatula or fork or something and scrape it in there. And you want to get these about 3/4 of the way full. More batter than a dozen muffin tins will hold, so I have this smaller half dozen one we'll use. All right, so I ended up short one, but I'm gonna go ahead and sit these in a 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll go ahead and take a toothpick and insert it in the middle at about 20 minutes just to make sure that it's done. If not, I'll give it a few more minutes. All right, so I just pulled these out of the oven. They ended up baking for about 22 minutes or so. I checked them at 20 and I felt like they were just a little bit wet. But pulling out a toothpick, you can see that it's nice and clean. So what I'm going to do is I want these to be able to fully cool without overcooking in the hot pan. So I'm going to pull these out and just let them sit on a cooling rack. So I'm going to let these cool on this cooling rack before I put them away. And again, you want to make sure that they are totally cool before you go and either freeze them or put them in another container to store until you're ready to eat them. But they look awesome. And yeah, so we're going to let these buddies cool.